All right, today we are doing lesson 1-4. Can you add that to the corner, please? 1-4, add your name and the date. It is 8/22/19. We are solving equations with multiple steps, so more than 2, and we still are practicing the properties and what we can do to figure these out. So our first equation, it gives us a hint. It says to solve by combining like terms. So before we do any of our undoing, we would want to simplify, distribute, and combine like terms if we can. So in this example, we can combine these two terms, and we don't have to add them to both sides or do anything like that because they're already on the same side. So there are 2x's minus 11x's already on the right. That's the same as negative 9x's on the right. So we would just combine them and rewrite everything else. Now we look at a two-step equation like we worked on yesterday, and the first thing I would want to do is get rid of the minus 15 by adding 15 to both sides. So then my equation would say 26 equals negative 9x. And now I would get rid of the negative 9, which is multiplied to x. So to undo multiplication, I'll use division and divide by negative 9 for x. Then I would have negative 9 divided by negative 9, which is just x. And 26 divided by negative 9 is a fraction that does not reduce. So that is a fine answer. Or you could change it to a decimal if you want, or even a mixed number. You would get negative 2 and 8/9, or negative 2.8 repeating. Now the properties that we use, let's write them on this question. The first thing that we did was combine like terms, so it doesn't have another name. We would just say that we combined like terms. Then we added 15 to both sides, so we did the addition property of equality. And last we divided by negative 9 on both sides, so we did the division property of equality. All right, let's look at our next one, which is a word problem. Martha takes her niece and nephew to a concert. She buys t-shirts and bumper stickers for them. The bumper stickers cost $1 each. Martha's niece wants 1 shirt and 4 bumper stickers, and her nephew wants 2 shirts but no bumper stickers. If Martha's total is $67, what is the cost of 1 shirt? So I'm going to give these some letters first. We're going to do B for bumper sticker, and T for, that looks like a plus sign. That's not good. We'll do it capital T for a t-shirt. So I'm going to use the equation. I'm going to write the equation using B and T, and then I will plug in the fact that I know a bumper sticker is $1. So everything that Martha's buying is 1 shirt for her niece plus 4 bumper stickers and 2 t-shirts for her nephew and 0 bumper stickers. Did I have to write that one in? No, but I did anyways. Her total, so total numbers go after the equal sign, is $67. Now I'll simplify this a little bit and plug in some things that I know. Still 1 t-shirt for the niece, but 4 bumper stickers would cost $4, so I'll change that to 4. 2 t-shirts for the nephew, and 0 bumper stickers would cost $0, so I won't put that in there. $67 total. So 3 t-shirts to combine like terms, and plus $4 is $67. So now I'm ready to do my undoing operation, so I'll subtract 4 from both sides. 3 t-shirts is $63, and I'll divide by 3 to get rid of the 3 on both sides. So 1 t-shirt is $21. Now it's a word problem, so it would be good to answer in words. So I'm going to say a short sentence. The cost is $21. Short and sweet, but it is still a sentence. On this side, we are going to do some questions that it says to use the distributive property. So if we have questions to combine like terms or distribute, we will again do that first before we undo. So I will distribute this 3 first. So 3 times r is 3r, 3 times -2 is -6, and it equals 9. Now I will start undoing. So I will add 6 to get rid of the -6. 3r now equals 15, and divide 3 to get rid of the multiplication, so r equals 5. Let's write our properties and our steps for this one. So first we did distributing, I'll abbreviate that. Then we added 6 to both sides, so the addition property of equality. And last we did the division property of equality. Let's try the one next to it. It has a negative sign in front of the parentheses, which we talked about means -1. So if I distribute -1, I'll have 14 equals -2x minus 11. Now to undo, I will add 11 to both sides first. So 25 equals -2x. And then I will divide by -2 on both sides. So -12.5 equals x, or you could certainly leave it as a fraction of -25/2, which does not simplify to a whole number. All right, next couple have fractions and decimals. We deal with them the same way, they just are a little bit more messy. So for our first one, what I would want to get rid of first is I would want to add to get rid of the subtraction on both sides. So add 2.325, and that would give 0.5x equals 6.275. And then I'll divide what is being multiplied, 0.5 on both sides, so that we get x equals, and probably need to use our calculator for this one, 12.55. We have used the addition property of equality, and we have used the division property of equality. Our next one has fractions. I highly suggest that we make these fractions have the same denominator so that we can combine them and add them together. I see like terms on top, but I can't combine them until the denominators are matching. That's how we have to add fractions. So to think of a number that 4 and 5 would both go into to make the fraction, 20 would work. So I would like to make it so that 20 is the denominator of both of these fractions, which means I'm multiplying this fraction times 4 over 4 for the top and the bottom, because 4 over 4 is really 1. So I'm not actually changing anything, I'm just multiplying it by 1, but I'm doing it in such a way that it will help me. So it would say 8b over 20. For the second fraction, I'm multiplying the top and the bottom by 5 to get the denominator to be 20. So it would say 15b over 20, and it equals 3. Now I can combine like terms because the denominators match. So it would say 23b over 20 equals 3. This looks a little bit better. We talked about a couple of ways you could do this. You could either multiply by the reciprocal right now, or you could do it in 2 steps. I'll do it a little bit slower and do it in 2 steps for this one. So I'm going to get rid of the division by multiplying 20 on both sides first. So 23b equals 60. And then I'll get rid of the 23 by dividing by 23. And I'm going to leave it as 60 over 23, a fraction that will not reduce anymore. Let's look at our last one. It says the sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 48. What are the 3 numbers? Consecutive numbers means there's 3 numbers in a row. So if the first number that we have, we're going to add these 3 numbers together and get 48. If let's say the first number is x. If the first number is x, the number that would be next to it in a row would be x plus 1. X and then 1 more. The next number after that would be x plus 2. And then it says the sum of these 3 things. So that means I'm supposed to add them all together. And the answer we talked about means equal sign, is 48. So here's my equation to solve. So I need to combine like terms. I have an x plus an x plus an x, so 3x. And I have a plus 1 and a plus 2. So 3x plus 3 equals 48. I can subtract 3 from both sides, so 3x equals 45. And I need to divide 3 on both sides, so x equals 15. But their question was, what are the 3 numbers? So I'm going to write a sentence that says, they are. Now, x was the first number, so one of them is 15. Then it's supposed to be 3 numbers in a row. So my 3 numbers are 15, 16, and 17. Those would be my answers.